In this section, we're going to build our Node web server and show how to launch it. Node is a very useful tool for developers. It provides lots of developer tooling and an easy way to run web servers. Now, if you haven't already installed Node, Pluralsight has a great course on Node that you can use, or you can just go to the Node official website by Googling for Node, and there's great information on how to download and install Node. We're going to be building an Express web server, so we're going to go to our command line, and we're going to install Express. Now, there's two ways that we can do this. If you downloaded the starting project from GitHub, then you can just type in npm install. This will make npm look inside the package.json file and install the correct versions of Express and the body parser module which Express needs. Or if you didn't download the starter project, or you just want to know how to install these manually, you can run this command, npm install Express. Then we're going to use an @ sign so we can install a specific version of Express, which is 4.13.0, a space, then body-parser, another @ sign, 1.13.1. This will install the compatible versions of Express and body parser to make sure that they work with our demo. No matter which way that you install it, at this point you just hit enter, and those modules are now installed. If I go back to my project, I'll notice that I now have a Node modules directory. And now I'm ready to create my Express web server. The first line of code I'll write is to bring in the Express library itself. This require call grabs the Express library and makes it available for me inside of this file. I'm also going to grab the path library. Next, I'll create the Express application by calling the Express function. I'm also going to create a root path variable by calling path.normalize, and then pass into that __dirname, dirname, which is a variable that points at the current directory, which in our case is going to be the scripts directory that our webserver.js is inside of. And I'm going to add to that a string which is /./, which will take me up a directory to the root directory of my application. Next, I'm going to tell Express to serve up my pages using app.use, calling express.static. The static function serves the pages in a given directory without processing them at all. And I'll give that a parameter of root path and my app directory. This will tell Express to serve all the files inside of my app directory without processing them at all, just passing them out as they are. Then I'll tell my app to listen on a specific port, and the port that we'll use is going to be 8000. Of course, if you already got this port in use, you can change this to a different port. And finally, I'm going to log out to the console, a message that lets me know that my server is now running. That way, when I launch the server, I get a message that says everything's okay. And now that I've got this file created, I can launch it by going back out to the command line. And if I'm on a Mac, I'll type in bash server.sh. If I don't want to type in bash every time, then I first have to set permissions with chmod +x server.sh. And at that point, I can just type in server.sh in order to execute it. Since I'm using the bash shell on a Windows box, I don't have to set permissions first at all. I can just use server.sh. Or if I'm on the Windows command line, I would use server.bat. We execute that file and we get our console message saying that it's now listening on port 8000. And to test that that's running, I'm going to go out to a browser and I'm going to go to the URL localhost:/image/angularjs-logo.png. The reason I'm using this URL is because I don't really have any other files yet in my application that are going to be able to be processed. So it's simplest just to test this by viewing an image. And if I bring that up, we can see the image for the Angular logo, and we know that our web server is running.